Hello everybody, it's Bill's that college football guy here with another video. Yeah, I'm up here in Toledo, Ohio. I thought I was going to have a weekend. You know, I had my son, their computer desk kind of fell apart, so I had to go take their desks apart, the old ones, get them out of the house, throw them in the trash, and then go, they got flat box ones they ordered on Amazon, so I had to build those two damn things and everything else. And I'm going on here in the process doing all this. I see all the stuff going on with Nico. Okay. From a Tennessee fan's perspective, what do I know? I know he was scheduled to make $2.4 million this year. I know he negotiated a raise of $250,000 to get it to $2.65. That I do know. I know the fact that from people I've talked to out west, from connections out in Vegas, yeah, Nico's family talked to people at UCLA, at USC, at Colorado, and at Oregon. And even though the denial, and someone asked him the question if he tipped off Coach Heupel, Dan Lanning, the head coach of the Oregon Ducks, said, "Let's talk about the spring game." A denial, because he's not gonna. Dan Lanning's not the kind of guy who's gonna lie on it. So the best way to not lie is to not answer the question. But yeah, what I got told from people I know is like, oh, those two are very civil with each other. I mean, they're opposite coaches. When Dan Lanning was the defensive coordinator at Georgia, but they've always been civil with one another and mutual respect for each other. And the way he was getting treated, Dan Lanning basically said, "You know what? This could happen to me if this doesn't get nipped in the bud. Like, hey, you might want to take care of this." So, hats off to you, to Coach Dan Lanning, for the tip off. He denied it, but yeah, he did. Do I agree with the decision to let him go? His family, his dad, contacting other universities to try to leverage to get a $4 million NIL deal. He led your team to a college football playoff berth. If you looked at the game against Ohio State and you looked at the season, who was more important for Ohio State, for Tennessee's success? Nico, Iamaleava, or Dylan Sampson? It was Dylan Sampson by a mile. Dylan was an absolute beast. I love everybody talking about on the shows of the fact that Tennessee runs a run and shoot offense. No, they don't. They run a run first kind of play action offense that basically the scheme is feature the run on offense and play solid D. That's basically Heupel's system. When you have the personnel, you run and shoot. If you got the horses, you run. He's flexible. You run passing, keeping them wide. I'm mad that he left. I'm upset that he left because he had some things going here. But the way he went about doing it, I don't agree with. Basically holding the team hostage and saying, hey, and basically Tennessee called his bluff. You can't get anybody in the portal. You're going to have to give me my money. They said, no. Bye. And now the family has gone radio silent, and I've been hearing from some of y'all there that the family is upset because some of them apparently have been hearing the fact that they thought Tennessee was going to cave. And Heupel in Tennessee have been hearing words from a lot of universities are very happy that they didn't cave, so that way this same thing doesn't happen to them for standing the ground. Like, why does he have to stand the ground? Where the hell have you guys been? I get it. You're an athlete, you got to strike when the iron is hot. I get it. And you got to get paid. And I fully agree with that. But you weren't the reason they won. You weren't the reason they got there. You were part of the offense, not the focal point. Dylan Sampson was. If Dylan Sampson was going to ask if he was still there, not in the NFL, and asked his rate from like $1 million to $1.5 million to $2 million, I don't think anybody in Tennessee would disagree. Hell, pay him more. Because 1,500 yards rushing, I think it was last season. It makes all the sense in the world. So he would earn it. But no. And Coach Heupel, I think, handled it the best way he could have. And basically we had told us the fact that there was rumblings about the contract negotiations with the family, and he's not returning phone calls from Coach Heupel, and then he doesn't show up for practice. And then I got a chance to look at his full press, Coach Josh Heupel's full press conference, where he said that nobody's bigger than the power team. Nobody's bigger than Tennessee. Not me, not any player. Because there have been plenty of head coaches and great players that have come down the pike, and be plenty more after we're gone. And that applies to every university. The same rule applies. Nobody's bigger than the university itself. Why? And the fact is, why? It was like why are the fans turning on me? Because you turned on the team in a sense. The fans realized what you were asking for, you were not worth. If you would have asked to get a raise from 2.4 to 2.6 to 3, they would have argued with it. They would have said, oh yeah, okay, we can do that. 4? No, you're not worth it. Eventually a line's going to have to be drawn in the sand. Now I hear the complaints and people who are out of touch. I think it was various people made the same statements. Most public, there have been public ones done, that the fact that head coaches are allowed to make a move. Head coaches are allowed to make a move, and nobody complains about the players. Like, head coaches pay a buyout. Head coaches have to pay millions of dollars to leave for that other job. Does an athlete have to do that? No. Now, here's the problem. You want to not have them being employees. You don't want them to be employees. We can't have them being employees because they'll stay here forever. And this is going like, are you guys complete morons? You ever heard of term contract employment? 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years? Very popular over in Europe. But you could be a term contract employee for X number of years. And when your contract's done, you're done. Why not do the same thing? No extensions. And as Greg Flugart, Peek Around the Corners, did his video, the fact that Congress is considering a limited antitrust exemption. Well, we'll see about that down in the future. But a little flat-footed. Wasn't expecting it. Eventually was going to happen at some point. Just the way it goes. Tennessee was just happened to be the first one where a guy did a holdout. And it didn't go well. So was Nico bluffing or not? We don't know. What's Nico's options? Well, some people that put up, I love people put up lists going like, oh, he's going to go, he's heading to Bama or he's heading to Ole Miss. Like, there's a rule within the SEC that once you completed spring practice, you can't transfer that year. You have to sit out a year to come back. Cam Newton had that happen when he left Florida. He had to go to junior college to come back to Auburn. Other players, Alvin Kamara left Alabama, went to junior college, came back to Tennessee. So it's what's going to happen here. So odds are they said they don't have the money to get him. They just, I think the whole thing for this was Nico wanted to go home and get paid. He wanted to go home. He didn't like things in the South. He wanted to go home. UCLA right now appears to be in the driver's seat. Colorado could be in the same place. UCLA needs a quarterback there. They may not have the money. If it's Nico, they'll figure out a way to get it done. Maybe not $4 million, maybe $3.5 million. But if he gets less than $3 million, he lost. Because not only are you having, since there's no state income tax, you're going to pay the 14, 16, 18, whatever the state income tax is in the state of California. And the cost of living there is a hell of a lot higher than it is in Tennessee. So, have at it with that. Where's Tennessee going from here? I've made my opinions known on X. You can follow along on that. Is there a possibility that because the job is open, that all of a sudden a star quarterback from a team, soon as the portal opens, is going to jump in the portal with a do not contact? Because a deal was already struck with Tennessee? It's possible. Is Jake Merklinger going to be, George McIntyre going to be the starting quarterback? We only got 2 scholarship quarterbacks in Tennessee right now. You got Jake Merklinger, who's a redshirt freshman, like Nico was this past season, and you got George McIntyre, who's a straight-up freshman. My thought is get a redshirt senior, a guy who's been in there, a guy who's been through this, who basically treats us like a business trip. Get him in for 1 year, and then you can have Merklinger George McIntyre and Faison battling it out for the starting job in 2026. You'll have a redshirt sophomore, a redshirt sophomore, a sophomore, because George is going to have to play with only 2 quarterbacks, unless they get a third quarterback, possibly even a fourth. They might try to go out to get 2 quarterbacks, because to try to reserve, if George is not ready, to go get another quarterback in the portal to have a third one on the roster. That way they can redshirt George McIntyre. So there's things going from there. We'll see what happens with this. As a Tennessee fan, are they going to win the SEC? Hell no. Considering the situation, if they won 9 games, I'd be impressed. They finished last season 10-3, 10-2 in the regular season with the loss in the playoff. Could they finish with the same record of 10-3 with 9-3 in the regular season, and then win a low-level bowl game? Maybe. Are they make it to the SEC championship game? No. Georgia's taking a step back. A lot of the schools have come down. Some schools are coming up. Florida can have a chance to make some magic happen with DJ Lagway. There's a lot of things that are going to happen in the SEC. But yeah, the Nico era is over at Tennessee. Nico's gone. I do wish him nothing but the best. He felt, and his family felt, that they're doing the best decision for him. Okay. Wish you nothing but the best on that. Hopefully you can find a decision where you're going to make yourself a good place and get yourself a chance to improve your standing. Because NFL quarterback right now, I don't know if you are. You can go back through the videos. I haven't been high on Nico because I didn't. And unlike the other Tennessee fans, are like, he's going to win. They're going to win 4 national championships and win 3 Heismans or some stupid crap. I say with Nico, and you can go back and check the videos if you want to dig through it. I'm not going to pull it back up again. But I've said in the course when Nico came in and says, look, if he gets better skills and gets greatly improved over a lot better than what he is now, by his redshirt senior season, he might get invited to the Heisman Trophy presentation and be a finalist. He might get that far in his redshirt senior year, and that's probably as close as he'll ever get. Are we going to win a national championship with Nico as the quarterback? No. Could we possibly win with Jake Merglinger, George McIntyre, or Faison Brandon? I don't know. To get a team up to an elite standing, it takes 10 years of great success to build the foundation of great recruiting, to build the foundation to do something. Georgia had to have 10 years of a good run or make a run in the championship. When I was 15. So, this isn't going to happen anytime soon, folks. So as a Tennessee fan, am I upset? Yeah, because you don't like any change on it. But, it happened now. As Coach Heupel said, rip off the Band-Aid, let's move on. Do I think they're going to get a quarterback in the portal? Yes, because you have a redshirt freshman and a freshman. They got to get a quarterback in the portal. And I'd recommend 2. I'd recommend a senior who can come in and battle for the starting job. And I would go after a junior and see how things are going there. Make a move on that, and a junior on there, so that way someone could come in with some experience, or a sophomore or whatever. I don't know. Or you can go get 2 seniors, one high end to compete for the job, one other one to be a third string quarterback and be someone who's leading. Somebody you think maybe can be a coach or whatnot, good, very astute leader type mentality. They're going to have to get at least one. I'd get 2, because if one of them goes down, you're screwed. You're going to have to get 2 in the portal, one to start and one just for holding the clipboard, but you're going to need somebody. That way George can redshirt, play 4 games in redshirt, but you still have another quarterback. It's going to be interesting, to say the least. We'll find out who it's going to be once the portal opens up. And if Nico formally enters the portal with a do not contact, we know who somebody's already talked to him. And I'm still saying the odds are he's going back to UCLA to go back home. But I could be wrong, but I'm done enough babbling. Let me know what you think about all this down in the comments. So thanks everybody for watching. If you haven't done it already, do me a favor. Smash the like button, hit the thumbs up. It helps the algorithm, helps the video be seen by more people. Comment on the video. Nico's left, going in there. I know if you're not a Tennessee fan, you don't care where he goes. But here's a question. Is there somebody else in a situation at a university right now who could do the same thing? Because the fact is, this has happened before. UNLV quarterback, remember him? Holding out for more NIL money, and he ended up kicking bricks, thinking he was going to get a P4 job, and now he's at James Madison. Mr. Sluka, who's Sluka himself, did Nico pull a Sluka and get Sluka? No, I don't think he's going to end up with a G5. Although if he did, it'd be absolutely hilarious. Nico Iamaleava, new starting quarterback for San Diego State. I don't think it's going to happen. I think he's going to be UCLA or somewhere bigger brand. Could he possibly end up in Colorado? I don't think so with Caden Salter and everything else. But let me know what you think about all this down in the comments. Share the video if you want to. And if you haven't done it already, check out some of the other videos I've done. If you like them, hey, subscribe to the channel. On the way to 1K, trying to make some magic happen. If you want to follow me on X, craziness that is, the link's in the description. So thanks everybody for watching. Nobody don't do videos on Sundays, but because of this one I had to, because people ask me, what is your take on this? This is your team. You're a Vols fan. What's your team here? Next man up. We're not winning the SEC. We're not making the college football playoff. So that opens up a CFP spot for somebody else. Tennessee's not making the playoff. Spoiler alert, like that wasn't a shocker of anybody else right now. We were in danger of not doing that just because James Pierce, the defense, left. And Dylan Sampson gone, there was a problem. So we'll see what happens. But thanks everybody for watching. Hope everybody's having a great Sunday. Man, the whole way up here on the... I'm going to get mad, don't care. On the 65 and the 75, 71, 75, Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio. Troopers everywhere. Man, so be safe out there and please be good to each other.